Shazam! Shit. Looks like I'm not the bloody champion after all. Hey YouTubers, I ain't no champion, but I'm Beef Duke, and today I'm reviewing Shazam, and I'm going to be doing an unboxing because I'm here to see if it's worth your money, so I burnt mine so you don't have to. So the DCEU have had Ben Affleck as Batman, disappointment. Henry Cavill as Superman, he's okay. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, she was spot on. She made the DCEU better. Everybody hated Aquaman till Jason Momoa came along and made him cool. And now we've got Shazam. So giving you the basics. Shazam is directed by David F. Sandberg. Shazam is different. It's a very light-hearted film. It's more of a comedy, and that's why it stands out from the rest of them. It doesn't have any major connections to the main set of the DCEU films. It stands aside out in its own glorious little corner, and it focuses on more of a core story. It doesn't make reference to the other DCEU films. It doesn't ignore it completely. It focuses in on its own self. Angel plays as Billy Batson, a foster kid that lost his mum at a very young age. He's going in search of his mum. He's been in many foster homes and he's always run away looking for his mum. Billy Batson gets into a bit of bother, he gets arrested and then taken into a foster family with 2 adults and 5 other foster kids. A place called the Rock of Eternity, hidden in another dimension. Djimon Hounsou plays an old wizard called Shazam, and in this cave of eternity he sits with other thrones on an elevated platform. The 7 statues called the 7 deadly sins. The wizard, he's looking for a champion because all the other wizards have died. He's the last to defend and keep in prison the 7 deadly sins from getting out into the world. And the whole purpose is he's looking for a champion from Earth, pure of soul, to come through a door, a magical doorway, which then he tests. Now, the test is that there's an orb that lays dormant in front of the statue of the 7 deadly sins. And these people that Shazam takes from Earth through a magical doorway, he summons them through, and to test them for the pure of heart, he says to them, right, here's an orb, you need to prove to me that you have the pure of heart. What that individual does not realise that if they reach for the orb, they will release the 7 deadly sins. The 7 deadly sins will inherit that soul and be released upon the world. Instead of coming in and refusing to not take the orb and become champion, they all get taken back to Earth and get told, no, you are not my champion. Batson comes through the magical doorway. He's had such a troubled upbringing and past. He's conflicted within, and he doesn't believe that he's pure of heart. Yet the wizard, Shazam, sees something in Billy Batson. So the wizard gets his staff and says, put your hand on my staff and shout my name, Shazam. At this point there's a massive flash of thunder and he turns into the champion, Shazam. The wizard dies off and Billy Batson, all he has to do is say the name Shazam. He turns into the champion. He's got all the superpowers which he doesn't know how to control. He doesn't know what his powers are. He spends the first hour of the film learning what he can and what he can't do. Vice versa, all he's got to do is say Shazam and he can turn from the champion back to his former self. About this film is the villain, Dr. Thaddeus Sivana, I'm just going to call him Dr. Sivana, played by Mark Strong, has a backstory as well. Also one of those called to the Rock of Eternity to take the test to be a champion, but he got turned away as a child. He was dragged to the Rock of Eternity whilst his dad was driving his car. Sivana's dad looked down upon him. He was very ashamed of Dr. Sivana. As soon as he was brought back from the Rock of Eternity, he was sat in the back of the car. His dad was driving. He was disappointed again to be told he wasn't good enough. And whilst he's sat in the back of the car going, "Let me back to the Rock of Eternity," his dad's trying to calm him down. Next minute, he has a crash. His dad's injured, he's got no use of his legs, and his brother was in the front seat as well, and his brother and his father are saying, "This is all your fault." Brilliant backstory for a villain, but then we have a massive time jump to the present day. Sivana actually manages to get back to the Rock of Eternity, and he stands up to the wizard before, this is prior to Billy Batson getting his powers. When Dr. Sivana's an adult, he actually manages to grab the orb, releasing the 7 deadly sins. He puts the orb into his eye. Sivana's a normal human being. With the orb and all 7 deadly sins within him, they can actually come from his body into their normal form. And if all 7 deadly sins come out from his body, then he doesn't have his superhuman strength. He can't fly. He's not matched with Shazam, and that's his weak. Mark Strong is a great villain in this film. He doesn't overcast Billy Batson, who's learning how to become a superhero as the film progresses. At first, he's pushing him over, he's all over him, he's so strong. Billy Batson's a 15-year-old inside an adult body. He's learning how to be a superhero. Dr. Sivana is there to push over Billy Batson as a superhero to realise the full potential of his powers. And like every other superhero movie, overcome the odds. Zachary Levi plays the adult version of Billy Batson, Shazam, once he's got his powers. He's absolutely funny, he looks young, athletic. He incorporates that 15-year-old mindset, bringing the comedy to the floor. Freddie Freeman is literally a superhero expert. He knows all about the powers, he's read all the comics, he's got a Batarang as memorabilia. One of the bullets that bounced off Superman he's got in a little bag that's legit and signed and authenticated. Both of these two team up, and these are some of the funniest scenes in the film where it brings the comedy aspect of it, just having the audience laugh over their heels in the chair. When Billy Batson gets his powers as Shazam, they jump into unpredictable situations. These 2 robbers are sticking this lady up at a till, and he stood there, Zachary Levi as Shazam, and he's going, "Hello there." These 2 robbers turn around and shoot him, and the bullets just bounce off him, and they're like, Freddie Freeman sat there ticking off, he has this power, he doesn't have this power, he has this power, this is awesome. And then he goes, hold on a minute, is the suit bulletproof or are you bulletproof? Freddie Freeman says to the robbers, shoot him in the head. And then Zachary Levi says, yeah, shoot me in the head. Oh, wait, what? Robbers go ahead and shoot him in the head, and the bullets bounce off him. Freddie goes, oh my God, you're bulletproof. And he goes, yeah, I'm bulletproof. Sorry boys, I'm taking you out. Now Freddie Freeman is quite loud, he's quite boisterous. I thought to myself when watching this film, does he annoy me a little bit? Come potentially off as annoying, but as I got through the film, I was like, actually, no, he's not annoying. There's a great interplay and balance between these 2 characters, which makes these scenes flow with the comedy. Fantastic. As I mentioned earlier, the thing that makes this film stand out in its own unique way is the foster family. As I mentioned earlier, the thing that makes this film stand out uniquely is all the scenes that take place in the foster family home. As Billy Batson's backstory with his foster child upbringing, all the scenes give such emotional soul. Cooper Adams, who plays the dad in the foster home, has one of the warmest souls on the planet. Such a connection and focus on family. Scenes over and over with the foster family where they all gather around the table, put their hands in the middle, and it feels like such an emotional weight that I didn't think a superhero film could do this to me, but I actually felt sad for all those characters, and it brings such happiness out of such a sad situation. Billy Batson at first, yes, he's left out, but towards the end of the film, that emotional connection comes in there. It's so powerful, and without that backstory, without that emotion, winding it all together, it's two parts of a film together, making it stand out. I was actually sat there inside crying. Superhero films aren't meant to do this to me. The beef that I have with this film is Billy Batson's upbringing. It's meant to be sad. People are meant to feel that sad emotional connection to it, but the comedy aspect and the sad aspect, one scene can be quite sad, you feel sorry for him, and then in the next scene there's an extreme amount of comedy and they sort of clash with one another. It's not really a big issue. The only thing that I had disbelief with was Dr. Sivana as a child, when he was torn apart with all the negative connection and emotions from his familyhood, and then being told that he couldn't be champion. Well, there's a big time jump, and then he's sat in a lie. He's employed loads of people to interview every single individual that's been taken by Shazam the Wizard to the Rock of Eternity and had the test of a champion. He's studying all these symbols that appear on the doorway when you get taken to the Rock of Eternity, and he's trying to find that connection, because you have to have the right symbols 7 times over on a doorway to be able to activate the magical opening to walk through into the Rock of Eternity. I just don't believe that someone can obsess for 30, 40 years, however old he is in the film, and still 40 years later be obsessing over the same grudge. You think he would have gone a different way in his life. It just seems a bit far-fetched with the time jump, and it's all he's ever obsessed over with his life. It just came off a bit fast. So YouTubers, let's see what the world thinks about Shazam. As always, we're going to IMDb. So looking on here, IMDb, everyone, based on average review, IMDb has given it 7.1 stars based on several audience reviews. So everyone thinks it's not up there, but yeah, it's good. It's got a Metascore based on critic reviews of 70, so the critics are also saying it's good. Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter is at 91%, so they actually think Shazam is up there, and the audience score give it an 84%. So that's actually not good. It's up there. Okay, just getting up close and personal with the camera. We have right here the unboxing. So we've got the 4K Blu-ray version. On the back, it's stating 4 stars out of 5 from the Daily Mirror, Empire, Heat, The Times. It's got a good film description. I like the artwork on the front. Let's drop the cardboard sleeve. As always, this film's got a description of what requirements on the back that you need to be able to play this in 4K. Shazam was shot in 2160p. And inside, you've got the 4K Blu-ray version and a little sleeve trying to get everyone to buy into the DC universe. And then if you don't have a 4K player and you take this round to a friend's house, you've got the standard Blu-ray version, so you can play it wherever you go. Okay, that's enough of what the world thinks about Shazam, but you YouTubers came here for an unboxing and a rating. So we've rolled through the positive, we've rolled through the negatives, the goods outweigh the negatives, so therefore, Beef Duke is gonna go ahead and get himself, you know where this is going, oh you know where this is going. Beef Dog rates Shazam Dude. Great. Definitely a dog treat. I'm gonna go get some milk. Love some milk with a bit of a biscuit. That washed the Duke treat down nicely. Ooh. Anyway, YouTubers, if you enjoyed this review of Shazam, just go down, hit that like button. Then, as usual, scroll all the way over to the other side. Hit that subscribe button if you want to subscribe to my channel. And finally, if you want notifications, just, go down and hit that bell. I always ask you to do one thing. I'm Beef Dude, and I'm just going to ask you to keep it real.